Hi, everybody. I'm Amy,
And I'm Audria.
and this is the Right Crown. So grab a cup of coffee,
Or a cup of tea.
maybe a little something on the rocks, and let's get started. All right, guys. So confession time. It's 2 years ago, 2 years ago, we did two videos, Atomic Habit, Tiny Habit. And we told you we were going to follow up with the power of habit. Well, guess what today is? Today is that follow-up. Yes, it literally has been 2 years. And yes, we have been talking about it amongst ourselves to do this video for the last 2 years. And it always gets pushed back.
Yeah.
Why? We're human and life happens.
Yep.
And so today we are going to talk about the power of habit, but it's going to be a little different.
Yeah.
It's going to be more of like a conversation of what works for us, what doesn't work for us, where we like totally fall off the boat. But the other thing is, okay, so I'm going to be coughing a lot in this video, just so you know. I did some detox moves yesterday that clear out your lymph nodes. Well, they're draining. And so we're going to be coughing, and it's just the way it is. So,
Right.
what?
On that note, I was going to say, I'm just going to repeat. So, a little bit of a repeat anyway. We're talking about The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, right? Charles Duhigg. And we're going to talk about that in relationship to the other two books that we did, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And we'll link to that video or go find it in our queue.
We can't link because
can't
we're not, we
yet.
don't, they're not, we're not allowed.
We're not yet big enough to.
We don't have enough peoples.
One day we will be big enough to link. And then the other one is Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. So we're talking about all of those and how those we have been utilizing or not utilizing them in our lives.
I will say that when we don't, we do recognize what we're doing wrong. We do know. It's like, you know what to do, you just don't do it. Like losing weight. I know what to do. Actually, I'm on track right now. So I don't know that okay, getting back into my running habit. I know what to do. Am I doing it? No. I don't know that I'll be able to run a marathon by the end of the year because I'm so far behind on what I need to be doing.
Lady, it is only February.
Have you run a marathon?
No, and I will.
No, okay.
If a mountain lion
You're a step
me a marathon length and I could survive it, I would just say, have at it. Here's some salt, pepper, and croutons. I'm not gonna make it. But yes, so
Okay. Yeah. So I will be coughing a lot. And even if I had a cold, it doesn't matter. I'm dealing with here. So, but I don't. I'm just draining. But the thing that I wanted to point out, don't look at me like that. The thing I want to point out is that we have always said, sorry, my heel itches. Y'all, this is going to be a video. I have a blanket on my lap and it's got little tangles, the little, what are they called? Tassels. It's tickling my ankle. I have to wrap my blanket so it stops tickling me. Okay. So we've always said that we don't read books we don't like and we won't review a book that we don't like.
right.
And it's not that we didn't like this book. It's just that we're only going to talk about that part. Because it's like all the deep science of habit and habit building. If you're into that and you want to know all the things they did to come up with all the things they came up with, that's this part of the book.
The first 3/4 at least of the book.
That's not us.
It's over 3/4. So yes, I will admit that. I read a goodly portion of The Power of Habit, and it was fascinating. The science behind it.
I got that far. That's how far I got.
The first couple chapters. So all the science behind why habits work and how they're used for major corporations like Starbucks and Target, and he has a lots of other facts and science and what do you call that? As Amy said, there's lots of the science behind it there, but not a lot of the practical, which conversely in Atomic Habits, it's all how to execute, how to
Right.
build good habits and how to break bad habits, etc. This book is all the science behind the habits, why they work, what's the brain science, how corporations have used them, how the military has used them, huh, and how they're used in shopping and Target and all that stuff, which is fascinating for me for only a little bit of time. If you're a person who's fascinated by the science, then you might pick this book up because it's great. But for those of us who are looking for practical how-tos and how to execute, skip to the
Yeah.
appendix.
Go to the appendix and then read Atomic Habits. And Audrea really, I was not a big Tiny Habits fan,
I did like time.
because there's some of the stuff in there that are directly like against Atomic Habits. Plus, I do intermittent fasting, and he was like poo pooing intermittent fasting, like in that book. So I'm like, this doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah,
Dre, on the other hand, really liked Tiny Habits.
I really did. Yeah. And I
It's
think
going to be,
yeah, it's gonna be for you take from any of these books what you can and use them how you want to in your life or your writing, etc. And I think all three of the books can work together. If
yes,
you needed to teach a course on habits, these are three of the best
these are
books.
the three. Yeah.
You've got the science, you've got the how-to, you've got breaking it down into the tiny, you've got the celebration part with BJ Fogg. They all bring a lot to the table for the topic of habits, building good habits, and breaking bad habits.
Yes. Well said.
Thank you. All right. And so I wanted to go into what I've been doing lately with my habits.
Do you want to review real quick? So Audrey actually did a little homework and rewatched the Atomic Habits video. Is there anything in that video you want to bring up again to go with this, or you just want to go straight in?
Well, okay. So here's the thing. Go watch that first video. We talked about a lot of stuff.
We did.
But or watch any of the other videos in there that where we talked about the habits. I think there are a couple that I pulled out that I wanted to just mention from Atomic Habits is the making if you make a decision automatic and that influences your conscious choice. So if you can make any of the things you want to do or that will help you, if you can figure out a way to make them automatic, then you don't have to use your executive function to make a decision every day. It's just something that you're doing. And then that influences your conscious choice. You're not actively making a decision. It's you're just influencing yourself. And then also there's the identity thing. If you want to identify yourself as a writer, for example, then you perhaps need to build a habit of writing on a regular basis.
Is that what I'm missing?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. Yeah. Both of us need to go back to the drawing board on that. So if you want to identify yourself as a writer, you need to, if you are not writing every day, you still need to make some time in your life, either daily or weekly, to write. And then you can call yourself, you can identify as a writer. And that's one of the things that James Clear said, that it's that identity thing. Like, for example, you in that video talked about you identify as a runner because you run on a regular.
Are you immediately like the turn?
Just you were the one who said to talk about what
How far I come in the last 2 years. I was a runner 2 years ago.
Same. We are being completely honest and transparent here. Same. I need to go back to the drawing board with rebuilding my writing habit.
And
And
we both need to do that.
yes.
We
I
both need to
think
do that.
we both need to do this. Our channel is the right crowd. So
We should probably be writing.
we should probably write. And I am writing. It's just it's not as consistent as it used to be. And when I was rereading all these habit books and looking at all these habits to figure out why I'm making more excuses than progress with my writing, it's using either Atomic Habits or Tiny Habits or even the Power of Habit actually explains to me why I am not I can no longer I'm not writing on a regular consistent basis because it's not a habit anymore. Before, when I was working full time and I was working 50, 60 hours a week at a corporate job, I had a habit of fitting my writing in to the early morning before work. And then I would use my lunchtime. Most of the day, I would take away time, go away for my hour, and I would eat for 20 to 30 minutes of that, probably just 15 to 20 minutes. And then I would write for the rest of that, or read and write for the rest of that. And then in the end of the day, before bed, I had a habit of getting my writing done, reviewing the writing I'd done before, editing, and so forth. I had to make that work if I wanted to call myself a writer. And I did. I habit stacked my writing even before I knew that I was habit stacking my writing.
Yeah.
Am I doing that now? No. Why am I not doing that now? Well, I don't have a huge block of time to squeeze my writing in. And my
Oh, no, you have a huge block of time,
well, right.
but
I have a
it's
huge block of
open
time that's
time.
open. It's
It's
not
open time. Just
scheduled.
yes.
Yeah. Right. Because I'm no longer working a corporate job. I am a contractor now, and I am between contracts. And even when I'm not between contracts, I have more time than I used to. But I'm between contracts, and I thought, "Well, I'm between contracts," and I deliberately did that, gave myself a huge cushion because I'm gonna get all of this writing done. Well, the trouble with time is that it shrinks or expands relative to what you put into it or around the things that you do. And so because I don't have a job to squeeze my writing around, I'm doing all these things. All the things. I mean, I drove from South Dakota to Arizona. That took 3 days, and there's things going on with my mom's medical or getting her to appointments, and I have time for all of that, but I'm not making the time for my writing because my I don't have a regular schedule to schedule my writing around. So, that is something that I'm going to be deliberately going back to Atomic Habits and Tiny Habits, and even The Power of Habit to look at rebuilding good habits.
Sounds good.
What about you, with your writing habits?
So mine is the same. And I'm gonna use running because we already brought that up. So when I had a big goal set, like an actual I bought a ticket into it. The last time I ran consistently, I bought a ticket. I was in a race. I had booked an Airbnb in the mountains. Big This was one of my bucket list trips. Not the race itself, but where the race was being held. So I was going, and I wasn't gonna show up at this place and not be ready. So I consistently had it on my schedule. I knew what I was doing, and I was doing it. I ended up DNFing, which means did not finish that race because there was a time cutoff that was not advertised, and I missed it by 5 minutes. I got all the way to the top of the mountain, and at the decline, the descent is where that cutoff was. I literally made it to the top and was on my way down, and they were like, "You missed the cutoff." Even the girl behind me was like, "What cutoff?" We didn't know. So that one left a little bit of, in my mouth, like I wasn't really. However, it's no excuse to not have gotten right back into the habit. The problem is there was no reward at the end.
Yes, the
I
reward of
wasn't working towards anything. And I will say that I, with the same company, booked another race that was 2 weeks ago that I ended up canceling. I did not get my money back on it, and I knew I wasn't gonna get my money back on it, but I also knew I was not gonna be ready for it, and I wasn't gonna DNF 2 races with the same company. And it was my first DNF, by the way. I've never not finished a race,
that's
but I had not built that habit back up in order to be able to be ready for that race. So for me, I need to pick something that has an actual it's gonna hurt if it doesn't like, I was taking that trip, but telling my husband we're still taking the trip even though I'm not running in the race, that's how we justified the whole trip in the first
the whole
place.
trip. Yeah.
But the same thing with my writing is okay, back to running because I wanna say something. One of the things that I used to do, which is the thing that clicked in my brain, is at night when I was getting ready for bed, I would set out my running clothes for the next day so that when I got up, I wasn't putting on my comfy clothes. to sit on the couch, I was putting on my running clothes. And I don't want to wear a sports bra longer than I have to. So for me, I'm putting on my running clothes, I'm feeding the dogs, I'm heading out for my walk, my run, my hike, whatever it is that I'm doing. I'm heading out so that I can come back and get the sports bra off. I mean, if we're just going to be honest, that's what it is. And if you're a woman on here, you understand.
I had something similar for my workout schedule. I put out my workout clothes in the morning and I set an alarm and I had to get up and I built a workout routine so that I was at the gym by 6 a.m. every morning. And I had an accountability partner who would meet me there. And then I had a reward system. My reward was beating her, being able to say that I was there and she wasn't if she never showed up. Also, whoever missed this many gym meetings had to buy the other one a meal or drinks. And so I wanted that reward. So I did that similar.
Other thing that we used to do is Audrey and I was it 2 years we did a step challenge?
Yes.
So for 2 years, which was part of my training for that, was we tracked our steps, our miles or steps, whichever one it was. And whoever had the most by the time we went to, at the time, 20 books to 50K, had to buy the other one dinner. So, but that's how I am in my brain, is I can't not do the thing because I can't admit that I lost. So, did I win or did I not win?
You won that time. I had to buy you dinner. But now I'm thinking we're going to have another one and I'm going to win.
Come on, bring it, bring it. But see, so for me, it's okay. So power of habit. So the basics,
Yes.
the framework of building a habit, identify the routine, experiment with rewards, isolate the cue, have a plan. Okay. And he goes through an example of someone who always stops and gets a cookie in the afternoon and working through that to figure out what the trigger was and how to change it to see how we could change that habit. Because I think it was a girl, whatever it was, didn't want to get a cookie every day. Like it wasn't good for them. So for me, I have to have the plan. I know the plan. I'm going to set up my workout clothes. My cue is to not have any other options. I've already set out the clothes and I put the clothes in my bathroom. I'm not walking back in my bedroom to go through whatever when I already have clothes set out. To me, that was a waste of my evening, even though it was 2 seconds. To me, it was a waste. I wouldn't go back, right? And then the plan, get up, go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, put on my workout clothes, feed the dogs and go. The other thing is I'm not a yoga pants person. I don't want to be in workout pants all day. I like sweats. And Costco has these really super comfy, they don't sell them anymore, but they have these really super comfy pants that I want to wear all day long. I want to wear them to everywhere. Okay, I want to live in these pants. I want to put those pants on, but I can't put them on till I'm done with my workout.
Oh.
And then the reward is, for starters, I'm going to be Audria. But then secondly, actually, she and I are both on the same weight loss track for the year, which is interesting. I thought it was interesting when we went over our yearly goals. We have the same goal. My husband has started losing weight as well. And between him and I, the reward is that we're losing weight together. So when we start taking pictures together at like in May, when I see my family, them looking at us and us being 15, 20, 30 pounds lower because he's losing weight like he's just taking off the shirt. Guys do that. I don't get it. I think about a donut and I gain 2 pounds.
Yep.
He just doesn't eat a donut and he loses 5. Like, I don't get it, but whatever. So part of my reward is that we call each other Fat-tastic right now. We're Fat-tastic. However, by our anniversary in July, we should be hot sexy.
Oh.
So that is just the fact that we're doing it together. And as we're both continuing to lose weight, it's encouraging the other to continue to lose weight. We both have our own way of doing it. I'm doing intermittent fasting and I've cut out most breads and I don't eat pasta or rice anymore. I cut those out a while ago because they bloat me. They make me feel bad. Same with almond milk. Some of y'all are drinking almond milk and you don't realize almond milk bloats people. So if you're drinking almond milk and you're bloated all the time, you can't figure it out, take out the almond milk, see if it helps. Anyway, so as he's doing his keto, which I'm not doing,
Right.
and I'm doing the thing that I'm doing, which also has to include exercise because keto, he's dropping the weight. I'm slowly losing weight because I'm not exercising. When I throw the exercising in, then I'll lose weight faster. So I know what my plan is. I know my cue. I know my reward. I've got it all. I just have to do that one thing before I go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
That one cue. Yeah. And that is why one of the things that I think it's important for sure in Atomic Habits is that it's not willpower that's going to help you get there. It's not goals because both a winner and a loser have the same goal, but one wins and one doesn't. It's the routines and the systems that you build,
Right.
and using cues and stacking habits will help you keep those routines and systems going until you no longer have to think about it. It's automatic and you do it every day or every week,
Right.
no matter what. And when you're not thinking about it, it becomes part of who you are when it's
Like
automatic.
you feel weird not doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like that. Okay, I get up in the morning, I do a French press. I start my coffee while I'm making the dogs food. The
Mhm.
dogs used to go crazy if I started the eggs and then I stopped working on their food, like they know what I'm doing, right?
Why?
But this has been the routine that I use in the morning has become the habit that now when I get my water ready and I grind my beans, they're just laying there because they know this is the routine. If I go off that routine the next day, they're back to being cranky because you didn't do it yesterday. Why are you doing it today? So it's the same. We have to get that within ourselves for it's just part of what we do.
Part of what we do.
It's just part of
So,
what we do.
to that end, what are we going to do to get writing back into your life, Amy? What kind of cue would it be a reward that we added to the end of the day or the week? Because I know that's what was missing for me a lot of the time, and also that community. I'm going to change the topic just a little bit here to go to that rewards thing. When I was writing on a regular basis, the most, it was back in the day when NaNoWriMo was a good thing and everybody was doing it. It was a
That's 2
community
years ago.
2 years ago.
Oh,
Community,
back when we were doing Atomic Habits and the last time I ran? That 2 years ago?
exactly. It's a community of writers who are writing on a regular basis, fitting it into their lives whenever they can and making it a habit. There are people jumping on calls to talk about when they're writing, and there are people who meet at coffee houses or whatever, not to talk, but to sit down and write because you gotta get those words in. And so the reward is a thing that I know I like. And so I know I like it because I've started scrolling on my phone, which I never did. I always felt superior. I did. I felt superior to people who were scrolling on TikTok and on Insta and stuff because I didn't do that. But I didn't know. I know. Please don't turn us off. But I didn't know that what a not just a time suck. I knew it was a time suck, but it's a dopamine hit. You get as just happy watching puppy videos or watching people say wolfkins
Or when I bake a batch of cookies.
baking cookies, and at the end yes, there's this one baking video queen maven that I watch. She bakes or cooks in beautiful gowns. They're gorgeous, and she's putting the things in, and I thought she was cutting. I thought she's gonna start, "Okay, I'm gonna add the milk," and she would pour the milk, and I thought she's gonna cut so she can put an apron on or something so she doesn't mess up that beautiful gown. I haven't figured out how she does it, because when I cook, okay, I'm gonna add just a dash of salt, and suddenly I'm covered with flour, sugar, chocolate, and gravy. That's how I cook.
Gravy. I hope not.
That's a bad example. Anyway, I know that I need to add rewards back into my system, and that's brain science. It's not just woo-woo. Your brain
Yeah.
craves that dopamine kick, and if you don't give it to it, according to Clear, Fogg, and Duhigg, you don't give it to it, then it'll go do the bad thing because it gets the reward with the scrolling TikTok, or it gets the reward by zoning out in front of the television, etc. So you have to put that reward system back in there. I think when we talked about that, the rewards or the celebrate with BJ Fogg, who you didn't like, he said to celebrate after you do each teeny tiny thing. And his example was doing a happy dance. And you're like, I'm not dancing. That's a ridiculous waste of my time. But you did say you were gonna get, what was it called? Party noisemakers.
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna go get those because I really need that dopamine hit, and if I could blow a noisemaker at the end of a tiny habit, I'll do whatever it takes at this point to rebuild my.
it would be kind of cool to have it. At first, the dogs would freak out, but if I did it right and I did it because I was getting my habit done, they'd get used to it and they wouldn't freak out.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Alright, so what I'm doing to rebuild some good habits in my life is I've made per the Atomic Habits, which one it was it? It is the number 4, verbalize or list your bad habits. Build awareness around what your bad habits are. So I've made a list of some of my bad habits, which I'm going to share. So I have deprioritized my writing. It's a bad habit. I put everything above it. So it's my habit. If something needs to be done, I can do that before I sit down to write. That's not good. I stay up late. That's a very bad habit. And I pay the price that same night or later or the next morning, and my writing suffers later on. Oh, and my eating and everything suffers. And then I wait to write because I have not scheduled it for when I have optimal brain time, which is usually in the morning around 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. to about 11 or 1. I've not prioritized my writing for that time. I'm trying to write when I have low brain. I call it low brain tide or B when I'm on my CDF brain instead of my A brain. I don't have my A game going. I've got my like F, and that's not good. I'm
That's not
not
a good time.
the plot very well, or the words don't make sense, or they're just repeating. It's just that's when my writing is at my worst. So those are some bad things. Also, some of the other things, like when I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna move into other bad habits. I always buy myself a little bitty and I'm supposed to be eating low carb, but I've got these delicious gluten-free pretzels right next to my desk. So, gonna have to not buy the gluten-free pretzels for my just in case. Let's see. And what are some other bad habits? Oh, well, I don't drink my water, which contributes to not being able to think clearly when you're dehydrated or have low water. So I am making my list. So you guys should go through and make your list of your bad habits. So you have awareness around what you're doing that is either contributing negatively to your life or taking time and energy and brain power away from what you want to be doing for this channel. It's for me, it's my writing. And also so I can beat Amy on a weight loss challenge. Yes. So those things. So go through and make your list of your bad habits. And then the other thing that I've been doing this week is capturing things that I want to do. Like I want a new purse. Instead of buying a new purse, I'm going to resist. And that's going to be one of the rewards when I get something done. So I'm making a list of what my rewards are going to be. And then I will put them alongside of when I lose 5 pounds, I get this. When I complete act 1, I get this. Or when I finish the edits on chapters 12 through 15, I get this. So make a list of things that would be good rewards for you so you get your dopamine hits so that you look forward to writing so that
Right.
you are fighting yourself to write instead of to not write, instead of giving in to those other things. So those are some of the things I'm going to really incorporate into my life so that I can reprioritize my writing accordingly. So I identify as a writer and an author because I write on a regular basis and I publish.
So what I have to do is look at my schedule and come up with what it's going to look like on what days and know that there's going to be one day a week that is my errand day. I'm not going to get any writing done that day. So that's going to be the break. I'm not going to get any writing done on the day I go to church because that takes out a chunk of my time in the beginning of the day. So there's 5 days left for me to get writing done, and I have plenty of time to get all the things done. And I am we call it doom scrolling. I am a doom scroller. And so Randy and I have come up with, if we see the other person doom scrolling, we'll be like, "Are you doom scrolling?" And it'll pop them out of the fact that they're sitting there doom scrolling when they're supposed
Uh-huh.
to be doing something else. So we've been, for the most part, keeping each other off our phones, doom scrolling. But I just have to come up with what my schedule is going to look like, incorporating getting my workout and my writing back into my schedule. And us coming up with a reward for like our challenge for our steps or however we're going to do it will help with that. I just have to figure out what I want my rewards to be for writing, which is interesting because the first time I ever heard about rewards in this way was when Sarah Cannon was doing a video on NaNoWriMo like 4 or 5 years ago. And she was like, "So my reward for this step," and I'm like, "Reward? Where are you getting a reward? You're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. Why aren't you rewarding yourself?" But I get it. I get it. Now, at the beginning, I was like, "That's stupid. I'm not doing rewards."
Yeah, I
But it
remember you
works.
saying that. Yeah,
Yeah, it works.
it does.
So, yeah, so I have to make myself do it. And it's going to start with putting as I'm saying this, I'm like, I see my cue. Putting my workout attire out in the morning. And what my brain does is I do my workout, I take a shower, I have my quiet time. And then my brain will literally be like, "We're on track for the day. Do you really want to sit here and waste how good your morning was? So get up and go do the other thing." Oh, and excuse me. I also know this. I do my quiet time in the morning on the couch because the dogs like to cuddle and I like to cuddle with the dogs. But it's hard to get up off the couch. I will find things to do while sitting on the couch, which usually involve my phone or my iPad. No, I don't have an iPad, it's a tablet. So what I've done is behind me, I'm not going to show it to you because it's still a little messy. Behind me, I'm setting up a space to put all my quiet time stuff so that when I'm doing my quiet time, I'm already in my office. And all I have to do is move my chair from one desk to the other. That is the plan.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the Power of Habit book that you wanted to? I'm
If
gonna
no, if you all have the Power of Habit book, please in the comments put down some of the things that you got out of the Power of the Habit or how you're using it. I like Amy, after I read the first few chapters and I read maybe halfway through, I skipped right to that appendix where there's some good how-tos or what to do to build a good. So I advise you to take a look at that if you have that book handy, because like I said, all of them can work together to give you the science and practical the science from Power of Habit and some of the a little bit of science in the other ones in exactly how to do it in Atomic Habits and even how to break your habit into a smaller habit and get that done and celebrate your wins and why you should be doing that with the Tiny Habits book. So you can use all three of those to build good habits and break bad habits. I really like how I think it was Clear's book explains how to break a bad habit. I did not know that until I read the books that we've just read. So I'm going to be using that habit science to break some of the bad habits again that I have or that I slid into during this.
anytime I break a bad habit and then I go and do it again, I'm always like, "Why would you do that?" My main one is stopping for that donut after work because they're fresh. Krispy Kreme donuts at that gas station, they deliver them fresh when I'm getting off work. And literally, I will get in my car and be like, "Just make it past the gas station." And then I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
So in my head, if I've told myself, "You're not stopping, you're going to feel like crap in the morning. You may think you deserve it, but you don't. You've got goals. make it past the gas station.
Yeah.
And if I can get past the gas station, I'll be home before literally I'm like, "Oh, I didn't get a donut."
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
that's even
So,
there's the cues right there. I will get in my car and I will drive to the next light. And I will not stop till after the next light if I have to stop. So then you pass the gas station. That's excellent.
yeah.
Using the science.
I think that's it for me on this one. Do you have anything
Okay.
else?
I think that's it for me as well. We are gonna go away and do the thing that we do in terms of building our building habits and making our lists. And we'll come back with some results later in the year for
Is this the one? Do I have a copy of Atomic Habits to give away?
yes, you do.
So let's do it on this video.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I think that's it for today. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And we have a copy of Atomic Habits to give away. So if you do not already have a copy and you would like a copy, comment on this video and we'll give you until the end of March because we don't really know when this video is coming out. So we'll give you to the end of March. And then the first week of April, it's an April. The first week of April, we will pick a name from everybody who commented and we'll contact you for your mailing.
Yes. Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye.